Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class, which is a recording of a class given by Srila Prabhupada in 1974 in Los Angeles. Canto 1, Chapter 16, Text 17. Without further ado, we'll start the class. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Tasyaivaṁ vartamānasya pūrveṣāṁ vṛttim anvaham nātidūre kilāścaryaṁ yad āsīt tan nibodha me tasyaivaṁ vartamānasya pūrveṣāṁ vṛttim anvaham nātidūre kilāścaryaṁ yad āsīt tan nibodha me tasyaivaṁ vartamānasya pūrveṣāṁ vṛttim anvaham nātidūre kilāścaryaṁ yad āsīt tan nibodha me tasyaivaṁ vartamānasya pūrveṣāṁ vṛttim anvaham nātidūre kilāścaryaṁ yad āsīt tan nibodha me tasyaivaṁ vartamānasya pūrveṣāṁ vṛttim anvaham tasya of Mahārāja Parīkṣit evaṁ Thus, vartamānasya, remaining absorbed in such thought, pūrveṣāṁ, of his forefathers, vṛttim, good engagement, anvaham, day after day, not, nātidūre, far off, kilā, verily, āscaryaṁ, astonishing, yat, that, āsīt, was, tat, which, nibodha, know it, may, from me. Translation. Now you may have heard from me of what happened while Mahārāja Parīkṣit was passing his days, hearing of the good occupations of his forefathers, and being absorbed in thought of them.
So the question was how Mahārāja Parīkṣit punished this Kali Yuga. The chapter name is How Parīkṣit Received the Age of Kali. So, why he punished the Kali? Because here he said, pūrveṣāṁ vṛttim anvaham tasyaivaṁ. You are situated always on the platform where his forefathers remain. This is called aristocracy. Every family or every caste family, first of all there must be division, then family, community, society, then family. So, Parīkṣit Maharaj belonged to the royal family. His forefathers or Bharat the Bharat dynasty. Therefore, you'll find the members of the Bharat dynasty is called Bharat. Bharat. So Arjuna was addressed by Krishna as Bharat. Maharaj Dhritarashtra was also addressed as Bharat. Vidur was addressed as Bharat. Many times you have seen it. So these descendants of the Bharata dynasty, not specially, all of them. When Parīkṣit Maharaj was born, so I have told you already, the learned scholars in astrology, they were calculating the horoscope of the newly born child. So, it was being described that this child, this baby now born, he will be hero like this, he will be devotee like this, this is horoscope man, in future what he will be. So, Maharaj Yudhishthira was anxious and he informed the learned Brahmins that this is all right, I thank you for your calculation. First of all, I want to know whether he will follow his forefathers. I want to know. That was the question. Because that Bharata dynasty, they are rulers of the world, emperor and great devotees at the same time. Evaṁ parampara pratam imam rajarsayo vidu. They were not emperors and kings, simply tax collector. No, they were Rajarsi. Rajarsi means royal majesty. But in their behavior, they are exactly like great saintly persons. Raja and Rishi. That is called Rajarsi. Raja means royal king, and Rishi means saintly person. There are many examples of Rajarsi, just like Rajarsi Janak Maharaj, Rajarsi Prahlad Maharaj, Rajarsi Dhruva Maharaj, Rajarsi Yudhishthir Maharaj, Rajarsi Parīkṣit Maharaj, all the kings almost, when monarchy was accepted, that is the only thing. Monarchy must be accepted. But at the present moment, democracy means abolish monarchy and elect a rascal as monarch. This is called democracy. But after all, you have to accept a man. This leg should not be spread before the deity. Monarchy, that is required, monarchy. Because a monarch is Rajarsi, he should be Rajarsi, a saintly person. Without being saintly person, how he can become representative of God? A king is supposed to be representative of God. So unless he has got godly character, saintly character, great devotee, how he can become the head of a state? Just like the demigods in the heavenly planets, the king of heaven is Indra. So Indra is materially very opulent, although they are after material enjoyment. You cannot compare their material enjoyment with this material enjoyment on this earthly planet. There are 1,000 times better standard. The duration of life, paraphernalia for enjoyment, facilities, so many things. They are higher and higher. As you go to the higher planet, they are higher and higher, 1,000 times. Just like in this planet also we see that some nation's standard of living is higher than other nation. Take for example, you Americans, your standard of living, from material point of view, you have got greater facilities, or you have created your own good facilities. Similarly, the more the intelligent persons are, they create their own facilities by the grace of God. Just like in this America, the red Indians are there, but they could not develop the country. But when the Europeans came and settled in this country, now this country has become the first class country in comparison to other countries. So it is the intelligence. So the standard of living, intelligence increases as you go higher, 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 higher. Urdham gacchanti sattvastva. Urdham means higher, higher. And adho gacchanti tamasa. There are three qualities. The whole material world is being operated under the influence of three qualities. Trigunna Vishaya Veda, Nistrigunna Bhavarjuna. So, according to the quality, there are different grades of people. And that is called Chaturvarnam maya system gunakarma vibhagas. So, everyone is not on the same platform. Everyone is under the influence of some quality of nature, goodness, passion, ignorance. So, there is division. So the Kshatriyas, they are supposed to be in the mode of passion, a desire for controlling, ruling. That is Kshatriya spirit, ruling. Therefore one Kshatriya king used to attack another Kshatriya king. The idea is not to take possession of others' property. The idea was that this king is not ruling nicely. Just like in your country you want to change the president, but forcibly he is sitting in his position. So, as you want good government, a good man as president, similarly, formerly, although there was fight between the two kings, the objective was different, not to occupy one's property, not to become a big thief. You know the story of Alexander the Great and the thief. Alexander the Great arrested one thief and he was going to punish him. The thief pleaded, "Sir, you are going to punish me, but what is the difference between you and me? I am a small thief, you are a great thief, that's all. You are by force occupying others' kingdom and you have no right, but because you are strong or somewhere or other you have got the opportunity and you are conquering country after country, country after country. So I am also doing the same thing. So what is the difference between you and me?" So Alexander considered that, yes, I am nothing but a big thief, that's all. So he released him. Yes, I am no better than you. Just like dacoits. Nowadays, there are many thieves who steal scientifically, legally. There are many lawyers, many scientists. They do harm, but legally. Legal murderer, legal cheaters, so many things. We have got experience, every one of us. If you can protect yourself under the cover of law and you cheat others, then it is nice. But you cannot cheat the supervision of the Supreme, that you cannot do. A thief may steal secretly, but there is no secret. There is no secrecy for God. It is said in the Bhagavad Gita, "Sarvasya chahang hridhi sannivishya." I am sitting in everyone's heart. So suppose you are planning to do something mischievous activity, you can cheat the man-made law or the man-made police, but how you can cheat Krishna? He is sitting within your heart. Sarvasya chahang hridhi sannivishya. I am sitting in everyone's heart. So whatever you thinking, feeling and willing, it is immediately being observed and noted. This rascal wants to do this. Besides that, this is inside. Then outside, there is sun, there is moon, there is day, there is night. Everyone, there are 8 kinds of witnesses. Whatever you doing. And karmana daiva netrena. Just like a man is punished according to his gravity of criminality, similarly, whatever you are doing, Here everything is criminal in this material world. Everything is criminal. Therefore Chaitanya Chaitamrita Kar says, Dvaite bhadra bhadra sakali saman. Ei bhalo, ei mondo, sab monodharma. Dvaite means things which is not directly Krishna. Dvaita. Bhayang ditya viniveshatasya ditya. This ditya, this is called Maya. Ditya means second. The one is Krishna and Maya is secondary. Just like light and darkness. Darkness is not first. Light is first. And darkness means where there is no light. But there is no, that is darkness. Similarly, darkness has no separate existence. It is simply absence of light. That's all. Real existence is light. So whole creation is just like real existence is the sun. Try to understand, very easy. Sun, but when it is covered by the cloud, it is called darkness. Or it is covered by another planet, then we find darkness. Actually, there is always light. If you go through the cloud, you come to the sunshine, everyone has got the experience. Down, when you start your plane, it may be very dark. And then, when you go beyond the sky, 7 miles above, then you see there is sunlight. And again, if you start your plane in sunlight in the morning, in daylight, say in the morning, and go to the western side, you will find never night. You will find never night. Always light, always light. Sometimes we have got experience. We start from a place, say at 10 o'clock, and going western side, then after a few hours we see that it is still 10 o'clock and the light is there. This is our practical experience. So, actually, there is nothing material, everything spiritual. Spiritual means Ishavāsamidam sarvam, everything belonging to God. But when we think that there is no God, I am God, or it is mine, that is darkness. This consciousness is darkness. So Krishna consciousness movement means to be situated above this material conception. Aham-mameti. Janasya moho-ayam aham-mameti. This conception that I am the proprietor and everything belongs to me, this conception is called illusion. And this illusion increases by mental speculation. Ultimately, that mental speculator remains in darkness, but he thinks that he has become liberated. This is another darkness. Another darkness. That is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Jennera bindyakha vimukta manina. Here Vindakha, Krishna's name is we take him outside. Jennero vindakha vimukta manina. Tayyasta bhavad abhusuddha buddhaya. Arujya krichena parang padang tataha patanti adha. Patanti adha. Anadita jismad angraya. Prabhupada Maharaj said, my Lord, Aravinda Akhya. Krishna is another name, as I explained yesterday. God has no name, but he has got thousands and millions of names according to his relationship with the devotee or the world, like that. As I explained yesterday, Krishna is called Devaki Nandan because he has got relationship with Devaki. Therefore he has become Devaki Nandan. Krishna is called Jasodanandan. So similarly, Krishna's another name is Aravindaksha. Aravinda, because his eyes are just like petals of the lotus flower. Aravinda Nabha. Aravinda Nabha means Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, from his navel one lotus flower is grown. Therefore it's called Aravinda Nabha. So here Krishna is addressed, Hey Aravindaksha, Jenne Ravindaka. Je Anne. Anne means neglectfully others. Prominent men are especially mentioned. Here is Mr. Satan, and there are others. So these others, Hey Aravindaka, Jenne, who are that others? Jenne Ravindaka Vimukta Manina. The others means less intelligent class of men who are thinking that I am now liberated, I have now become God by mystic yoga, by meditation. So therefore it is called Manina. Manina when they are thinking wrongly like that. Actually they are not liberated. Not liberated. They are in darkness because he is foolishly thinking that he has become God. How you can become God? What is your power? What you have shown like God? We accept God, Krishna, Lord Ramchandra and others by seeing his activities. Krishna at the age of 7 years old, he lifted Govardhan mountain, Govardhanadhari, Giridhari. So what you have? You cannot raise even 5 kilos of load and you are becoming God. So these so-called gods are accepted by so-called devotees. These are all rascals. Therefore it is called manina. They are thinking by mental speculation that I have become God. What you have got power, what you have done, that you have become God. But they are foolish. They do not calculate the value of his, strength of his becoming God, but they are thinking. Therefore it is called manina. Then you can think at your home that I am the proprietor of the Bank of America. So you may become a crazy fellow like that, but to become proprietor of the Bank of America is a different thing. But these foolish men will think like that. I am God, I am moving the sun, I am moving. This is their meditation. Perhaps you know. These rascals, these dogs, not gods, they think like that. I am moving the sun, I am moving the earth. Therefore it is called vimukta manina. Manina, thinking, foolishly, thinking. Janneru vindaka vimukta manana. Why they are thinking foolishly? We see they are advanced in knowledge, they can put forward so many words about becoming God. That has been described by Sridhar Swami, Bhakchaturja. Their so-called explanation that they have become God, that has been described by Bhakchaturja, jugglery of words, to be fool, another fool. That's all. Therefore in Bhagavad, in another place, it is said that Sabiri Baraha Usta Kharoi Sangstuta Purusappasu. Purusappasu. If one person who is not devotee, if he is praised as very exalted, so where from these praising words are coming? Now, Sabir Baraha Ustakharoi. Such praising comes from the persons who are like dogs. So, Bir Baraha, these 2 liter pigs, Sabir Baraha, Ustra, camel, and Khoro mean ass. These classes of men, they praise such another big animal, Sabir Baraha Ustra, because anyone who is not a devotee of the Lord, he is not Rajarsi, Devarsi, he is not praiseworthy at all. He is a fool, he is a rascal. That is our conclusion. Now it is the real conclusion. Because Krishna says, Mudha. Mudha means rascal. Namang duskitinam mudha prapaddante naradhama. So our simple test is whether a man is devotee or not. If we find that he is a devotee, then we respect. Yes, here is nice. Vaishnava. Jamaraja says, offer my respect to the Vaishnava. But if we see that he is not a devotee, he is claiming himself as God, as the Supreme, then immediately, according to the formula of Bhagavad Gita, we accept Mudha, because a Mudha does not surrender. A Mudha, that is the test. Anyone who has not surrendered to the principle of Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Bhaja, that is the test. If he has not surrendered to God or Krishna, then he is Mudha. That is also explained in the Bhagavad. Jannero vindakho vimuktamanina. Why they are so mudhas? Just like cause and effect. If a man has no money, he is called poor man. Similarly, if a man has no such sense to surrender unto God, he is mudha. He is mudha. So, but thinking that he has become liberated, he is become one with God and he is God himself, everyone is God. Therefore they are mudha. Jannero bindakha vimukta manina. So, it is, in good words, vimukta manina. And because it is said by Vyasdev, or a devotee, little respectful, vimukta manina, falsely thinking that he has become liberated. But when Krishna says, because he is the Supreme Lord, he says he is a mudha, he is a rascal. There's a father can immediately call his son rascal, or spiritual master can say, because superior position, rascal. Others, the rascal may be addressed in a ornamented language. He is to be proved a rascal, but some for friendly sake. Just like Krishna, when he was talking with Arjuna, he directly did not say, "My dear Arjuna, you are rascal number one." You are rascal number one, because friend, but he did not say that. But he said, "Asacyananusūchastang pragyavādāṁ sabhāsase gatasun agathāsum sa nanusūchanti pandita." My dear Arjuna, you are simply lamenting on this body. This is not the subject matter of lamentation. Actually, that is the fact. He was thinking that my grandfather, my brother, they will be killed, and he was putting forward great philosophy, this, that. Humbug. After all, this body will be finished. Either your grandfather's body or your brother's body, we do not kill them. In due course of time, everything will be finished. That's a fact. Therefore, Asacyan, why you are anxious for protecting their body? Asacyan anusūchastang. And at the same time you are talking great philosophy. Pragyavādāṁ sabhāsase. Philosophy means pragyavad. Asacyan anusūchastang pragyavādāṁ sabhāsase. But nanusūchanti pandita. One who is actually learned, he does not take very much care of these things. That means you are a fool. That means you are a fool. It is got parenthesis of that a pandit, a learned man, does not do like this. It is called, what is the English time, I do not remember now, that if I speak that sometimes from my home this thing was stolen, and the man who stole, he looked like you. But not directly. You are the man who had stolen my property, but you can say, in a gentlemanly way, he looked like you. You see? So, similarly, Krishna says, anyone who is not surrendering unto me, who is not a surrendered soul, and thinking that he has become God, he is very learned scholar, Vedanti, these things are vimukta manina. Now I have no business to go to a temple. In our country there is a class, they have developed a system not to go to the temple. That is their propaganda. Not to go to the temple. Why you should go to the temple for finding out God? God is everywhere. If God is everywhere, why not in the temple? What the temple has done. If God is everywhere, then in the temple there is God. You may call deity worship as idol worship, but the situation created by deity worship, Krishna consciousness, practical. This was a church. This was a church. How many years ago? Since when we have occupied? 4 years ago. And because nobody was coming, so this church was sold and we purchased. Now why people are coming? The church or temple, if there is no God, so why people are coming? The same church. Because you could not convince them about the science of God. Therefore it was vacant. You cannot bluff all people for all the time. That is not possible. You must give them substance. Then they will agree, yes, there is God. So, Parīkṣit Mahārāja, a special qualification. Pūrveṣāṁ Mahātmanam. This Mahatma I have already described. Mahatma means devotee. Mahatma does not mean a politician. Mahatma means simply Mahātmānastu māṅ prārtha daivi prakriti āsītā bhajanti ananya manaso. He is Mahatma. Ananya manaso. Without any deviation. 24 hours he is engaged in Krishna's service. That is Mahatma. That is Mahatma. So, Mahārāja Parīkṣit's situation is described. Here it is said, tasyaivaṁ vartamānasya. How he kept himself always. Pūrveṣāṁ. Pūrveṣāṁ, the very word again, as it was used previously in the 13th and 15th verse. Sa pūrveṣāṁ mahatmana. You are so responsible that always thinking whether I am deviating from the path of my grandfathers, Yudhishthira or Arjuna. That was his. In this way he was always situated. That was his first business. Because his grandfathers were devotees, Rajarshi Yudhishthira. So he wanted to keep himself on the position of Rajarshi. And because he kept himself on the position of Rajarshi, therefore he was able to punish the Kali. Because at the present moment there is no Rajarshi. All rascals and fools and animals are on the top of government. They cannot see what is Kali. They cannot see. Because he is also one of the members of the Kali. How you can see? Therefore the whole world is now being led by the Kali's agent. So they cannot check. Here it is said that nātidūre kilāścaryaṁ āsīt tan nibodha. Suppose if you are not yourself in healthy condition, you cannot understand what is unhealthy condition. If you are not a scientist, you cannot see how the other thing is not scientific. If you are not yourself a medical man, you cannot understand what is the disease. So Mahārāja Parīkṣit, because he was Rajarshi, pūrveṣāṁ vṛttim anvaham, he was following strictly the occupational duty of his forefathers, anu ahani, day to day, not forgetting even for a single moment. Therefore, he could see what is that Kali. The Kali, we are avoiding Kali, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, and no meat eating. These are Kali. You'll understand from this chapter gradually. These four things are representative of Kali. Now at the present moment, all over the world, Kali's influence is going on. Almost everyone, 99.9%. You cannot say saint person because there are some saintly persons. So, take it, 99.9%. All under the influence of Kali. Illicit sex life, gambling, intoxication and meat eating. So how these people can see what is Kali? He is himself under the influence of Kali. Therefore, Parīkṣit Mahārāja's situation, vartamānasya, tasyaivaṁ vartamānasya, how he was being situated, in what position he was. Just like not to go so far as to go to Parīkṣit Mahārāja, even those who are neophytes, trying to be beyond the range of Kali Yuga, our members of the Krishna society, because they have given up these four sinful activities, they can see how one is influenced by Kali. So this is the position. Therefore he could see. Now because the so-called leaders, so-called presidents, they are themselves agents of Kali, how they can stop this illicit sex, meat eating, gambling and intoxication? They cannot do. So you have to take shelter of the Shastra and then you will be able to avoid it. Otherwise it is not possible. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees, for coming and from hearing this. It's always very, 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 very much on point. Sometimes, I'm looking at when Srila Prabhupada gave this lecture, 1974, and it's so applicable. It's going to be applicable. It was applicable then, it's applicable now, it's going to be applicable in the future. As long as we're in this Kali Yuga. So many important points Srila Prabhupada brought out. So this is the time, dear devotees, to unmute yourself. If you have comments, you have questions, you have takeaways that you would like to share or ask, please go ahead and do that. Hare Krishna, Vishnu Guru, please accept our humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hopefully you can start us off with some of your comments. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Parīkṣit, Prabhu. Please accept.
Right.
Thank you. One couple of things that stood out to me in the beginning, Srila Prabhupada was saying how the Parīkṣit Maharaj was very concerned about following the precedent of his forefathers. And then later, Srila Prabhupada said Parīkṣit Maharaj was always considering whether he is deviating from the path of his grandfathers. So he's always thinking that way. So similarly, in the Krishna consciousness movement, one can consider always thinking, are we deviating, making sure we don't deviate from the example and teachings of Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas like that in a similar way. That's what I was thinking about that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I thought you had finished. If you haven't, please go ahead.
I was just I was just saying that. So and in Parīkṣit Maharaj's case, he was saying his forefathers. So then, of course, in that there is his forefathers. I don't know if Dhritarashtra would be included in that forefathers. So even though there might be, if he was included, then he might be kind of an anomaly. So in general, the forefathers were also saintly, as Srila Prabhupada was saying, Rajarshis, and he gave so many examples of Dhruva Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, and Yudhishthira Maharaj, etc. And I was thinking about, are there any, material parallels to this? And one thing that's kind of on the material side that they have, in the United States, there's different levels of justice, but the Supreme Justice is considered the Supreme Court. And it's a big deal among the Supreme Court people. They have to think, we have to think, what are the precedents set up by the previous thinkers or previous Supreme Court justices? They don't change it. Of course, now they change everything. But that's a big bone of contention. But in that case, the predecessors are not on the level of Rajarshis, but a similar principle. Of course, if we follow the principles of following the Rajarshis, then you can go back to Godhead.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay. Were you going to add some more things? I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
All right. Yeah, when you were talking, I was thinking, when you mentioned the Dhritarashtra, I thought that was quite interesting. Would he be part of the group called the Rajarshis? Well, he was a rishi, all right. He became a rishi, in a sense by default, but still, he became a king for a while. But
He was
maybe
people identified him that he wanted to be king, but never really was king.
yeah, he was on the throne, but Bhishma was the one that was protecting the nation. So in one sense, I don't know. That's an interesting situation. But you said that he, is he going to be added? Yes, he was one of the kings, by flesh, yes, he is. But by consciousness, he's certainly was not a Rajrishi. He was not a rishi in consciousness at all. We really tried to help him, but it didn't get anywhere until the very end when he lost everything. So the Dhritarashtra's situation is quite interesting. He was among those who could easily make him a Rajrishi, but he wasn't willing to hear. That's his problem. That's what came to my mind when you mentioned him, Dhritarashtra, especially.
Yeah.
Any other comments from the devotees about this? Srila Prabhupada, I made some notes, so I may, in the meantime.
Shane has his hand up.
Oh, okay. I did not see it. I was looking at my cell phone. Shane, go ahead. Hare Krishna.
My humble obeisances, all glory to the Prabhupada.
Yeah, glory to Prabhupada.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the comment about Alexander the Great and the thief. It just made me think how you can look at today and see how the biggest thieves are the ones that are high up in politics, and it's terrible how Kali Yuga is. But that's all I was thinking. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, if you look at the situation now, you see how the presidents, they call them, or prime ministers, they don't even use the word kings these days. The what is behind their motivation to invade another country is pretty interesting, to put it mildly. There's nothing really, really good about it, but they try to sell the wars as something that's good for that country or protective for that country. But the motivation behind it, that's another story. The real motivation is another story. So this is Kali, and the presidents and prime ministers, they're acting at the level of Kali. So now, of course, you can see the trust level has gone very, very low. Even those who claim to be allies are not trusting each other. The situation is actually looked at. Everybody's bottom line is what he or she is looking at, not what is good for the community or the world as a whole. This is not happening. So it becomes very interesting how, devastating Kali can be, and it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. It's going to come to a point where things are going to come to a head, and there will be more disturbance at the national level. We are seeing national karma just play out now. Sometimes I heard this from my Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. Yes, there's individual karma, but there's also community karma, there's national karma, and even planetary karma is also there, but that very much depends on the age, and of course whether Lord Brahma is sleeping or Lord Brahma is awake. So that all plays into it. But it's very interesting what we're going through now. And Krishna is protecting, and at the same time we see this is no place to stay at all, this planet. This material world, it's best to get out and go home. Hare Krishna. Any other comments? All right, I'll just mention a few points that I noted when Srila Prabhupada was speaking in his lecture. Mahārāja Parīkṣit, was very, very much, first of all, he was listening to the activities of his forefathers, the Pandavas. It pleased him very much, and that helped him, since they were saintly, it helped him to also remain saintly. As a matter of fact, at some point when Srila Prabhupada was describing when Mahārāja Parīkṣit was born, and astrologers were talking about what he was going to do, Mahārāja Yudhishthira was particularly interested as to whether Mahārāja Parīkṣit would follow the path of his forefathers. Evam paramparam praptam imam raja shividu. So that's what Mahārāja Yudhishthira was interested in. Will Mahārāja Parīkṣit be, if we give the reins of the planet to him, will he be a Raja Rishi? That was his main concern. Everything else wasn't as important to Mahārāja Yudhishthira. Srila Prabhupada gave other examples. Prahlad Maharaj, Janak, Dhruva, they were all Raja Rishis. And the monarch is the best because the monarch has to be a representative of Krishna. But if he doesn't have godly qualities, how can he represent Krishna properly? So he talked about the different standards of living. America now has a better standard of living. Of course, it also has to do with the karma of the country. So he mentioned Kshatriyas. Of course, in the modes, Kshatriyas in the mode of passion, and then they conquer other kings. The better situation where Rajarishis conquered others was to bring them to a higher consciousness. Right now, people just try to conquer just to get the spoils of what that particular country has. That's more interesting. That's more not interesting. That's more is what they desire. That's more what they desire rather than the consciousness of the community going up higher, being the reason for Raja Rishis to actually go after other countries to bring them to that higher standard of God consciousness. So I thought that was quite interesting when you mentioned that. We cannot steal. He talked about Alexander, which of course Shane is already given as a take, or at least something he noted. But as far as stealing, he said the thief may steal secretly, but there's no hiding from God because Krishna is the Paramatma, it's sitting in the heart. And also, that's internal. But externally, there's the moon, there's the sun, that are all witnesses. Remember, all of these have demigods that are, the controllers, and they see everything that's happening. So does Yamaraj. He also sees everything that's happening. So he made one comment. I thought, I don't know whether the devotees want to comment on this point. He said here in the material world, everything is criminal. Everything is criminal. This place is just, a dark place in many ways. You mentioned criminality. I don't know when I finish talking with somebody wants to comment about why everything is criminal. The conception of illusion. So much illusion here. And the illusion increases by mental speculation, which is something that scientists are doing a lot of. He did mention Krishna getting several names based on his activities. Devakinandanan, Govardhan Dhari, lifting Govardhan Hill, being the son of Devaki, Mataji. So all of them. And then he mentioned how these people, foolish people, are taking the words, juggling the words of people who are rascals themselves. So if a non-devotee, he brought it to the point is, the real test of a person is to find out if the person is a devotee or not. If he is, then we respect him. If not, then we know he's a rascal, even though we may not say anything to him or her. We know that he or she is a rascal. If a person hasn't surrendered to God, then he's Mudha. Mudha means rascal. So we have to that is an indirect way of telling us that we have to, if we don't want to be called rascals, then we should actually surrender to the Lord. He brought back this case of Arjuna. He was thinking that his grandfather and other relatives, this is on the Battle of Kurukshetra, the battlefield, he thought that these relatives would be finished if he fights. But he was lamenting with these material arguments And Krishna, because he was a friend, he could have told him directly that Arjuna was a fool, but he went around the issue and then said that you're lamenting over unimportant things, which means we also shouldn't lament over unimportant things. Mm-hmm. A learned man does not lament about those things, because no matter what happens, death will come. Mm-hmm. He was explaining you are in the field as a Kshatriya, you have to do your duty. And if you don't do your duty, what's going to happen? It's going to happen anyway. Mm-hmm. If you do your duty, it's better. So he also talked a little bit about the temples that they have now. Some of them are purchased from churches, and churches where people were not attending. The congregation was not attending. Why? Because they weren't getting enough about God consciousness to be convinced. But when the devotees bought the church, now more people are coming into the temple because Krishna consciousness is very convincing. It gives good substance about the quality of the Lord and understanding of God. And then he ended by saying the Mahārāja Parīkṣit has special qualification. He was always contemplating whether he's following the path of his forefathers, the Pandavas. So, and because he was a Raja Rishi, then he was in position to be able to punish Kali. But the world now is being ruled by agents of Kali. And so Mahārāja Parīkṣit was not deviating for a moment from Raja Rishi activities. But now, 99.9, and I thought that was interesting how Srila Prabhupada would not use the percentage, 100% of the people are influenced by Kali. He said 99.9%, because there are a few people who are in the mode of goodness, so they didn't count all of them. Mm-hmm. What's wrong? People are eating meat, involving themselves in illicit sex, gambling, and intoxication. The politicians do it, so they can't stop other people from doing it. So the bottom line is we have to take shelter and take shelter of Shastra, which of course is everything. The Guru's instructions are also in the Shastra. Then we'll be able to avoid this lower type of living. Hare Krishna. Any final questions or comments? If not, then thank you very much for coming on. Please just make sure that nothing is in and go to the okay. All right. Narayan made the point. Hare Krishna. One interesting point is how innocent people get cheated and exploited by word jugglery by some people. Yeah, a lot of that's going on. Many things are being done in secret, and what is really supposed to be reported to people as to what's going on, even that, it is all just looked at, edited. Some things is deliberately not reported, and some things are reported just to change people's minds. So it's very difficult to even know materially what's going on, much less spiritually. And spiritually, of course, unless you come to Krishna consciousness, you really don't get the full picture of what's here in this world. So thank you for your comment. Okay, so we'll stop here. Nupu Mataji, Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So have a nice, wonderful day and rest of the week. Hare Krishna. I know that this one announcement, the next festival coming out is Nrsimha Chaturdasi is on Thursday, April 30th. We'll have a program that day, even though it's a weekday. We'll have an evening program at the temple. Hare Krishna. Okay.